Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's something serious. Where my girls at? We ain't linked up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
It's going down. Where my girls at? It's going down. Oh my gosh, I love that song. I love that song, and I love the show. I love the show, and I'm so glad you guys are with us today. It's so interesting. That song's like, ooh, they're so serious. And I said, who are they talking about? Us? They're talking about us. We're so serious. Well, sometimes we have some serious stuff to cover on the show, and sometimes we have some great stuff to cover, and it's not so serious, and sometimes it's fluffy, but we're not Pollyannish, that's for sure. We're so excited that you joined us today on We Got Issues. We're here at 9:10 a.m., the Superstation, and we're so glad you're here with The Force of Friendship. And if you haven't checked us out, you need to go to theforceoffriendship.com, where you can find access to us all kind of ways. I promise you, when you follow us on social media, you're going to see some things, learn some things, feel some things, see some things, not like before. And so we're here today to bring you yet another great show, because we're here every day, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're here to bring you the tea, sometimes the teaching, sometimes the info, sometimes the preaching. Oh, we get it all. We get it all right here on this show. Because listen, it's so true. You know it's true. You know you got issues. We know we got issues. We all got issues. So we figure, wait, hey, let's just talk about all the issues. If we talk about the issues, we can sometimes release some of the issues, or maybe we can pass some of the issues. But it's Gloria, Katrina, Chrisette, Sabrina. We are all here. We're so excited. Y'all, seriously, I am so hot. I am down here.
You look hot.
I'm so hot.
Yeah,
I'm excited to be here from Cartagena, Colombia, as we celebrate Women's History Month. Seriously. And I was looking at the news just a little bit online. I can't get my regular ABC, NBC, Netflix, CNN. You can't get anything down here right now. But what I did see is that there's a lot of weather coming through the Northeast where I live. A lot of weather. However, I am not there to experience it. So I guess those in the Northeast, they got issues right now. But here in Colombia, it is fabulous. It is hot, and it feels so good. So what's going on, Sabrina, and Pretty Yellow? What's going on down there, Sabrina? Well, I should say,
well,
up there where I am right here.
You know, I know it's funny, Gloria. You said you're burning up, and I got a turtleneck on, okay? I'm cold. I'm cold. But I'm so glad that the days are getting longer. You know, just a couple of weeks ago when I got on the show, it was pitch black out there. And now we still have daylight. So I'm excited about longer days, warmer days ahead, living vicariously through you in Colombia, South America. It looks so beautiful. I can't wait to get there. Absolutely. But I'm excited about Ernestine, our guest on the show. You know, good old USA. You see that... what's his name? Ryan Coogler, the director of Black Panther, was withdrawing his own money out the bank. Had a debit card, a credit card, or whatever, had his own PIN number, and they still handcuffed the man because he was getting his own money out the bank. Yeah, handcuffed him.
They didn't just handcuff him, they arrested him, right? They didn't just handcuff him.
No, they just handcuffed him outside. They never took him to jail. But I mean, you don't have a gun. You don't have, I mean, my thing is, take him in a corner, have a conversation, but you immediately think, get handcuffs. and handcuff him. And you know what? I was thinking about that today, Sabrina. Kiera was listening to somebody's podcast and they were talking about it. I mean, what? And I mean, he said, you know, kudos to him. I mean, I'm just really impressed at how low key he's been. We've talked about it and we've handled it and whatever that means. But I was thinking, you know what? Take all your money out and put it in another bank. Take all your money, because they never said what happened to the person. You know, was she reprimanded? I mean, you just get so tired of hearing those kind of stories. I was going to talk about that, so you got me riled up, Sabrina. I ain't saying nothing else.
We got issues, y'all. We got issues. The force got issues. Go ahead.
A black man writes something on a note and slides it over, and she just, without even reading it, assumes that he's trying to, it says, give me all your money. I mean, that's crazy.
But wait,
that is crazy.
And wait a minute. On top of that, he gave her his account number, driver's license. Maybe you could say he didn't give her no ID. He gave her his ID. I mean, bank robbers typically don't say, this is where I live and you can find me.
Right. All right, fired up. You got anything else to say, Sabrina?
No. And Chrisette neither. It's Katrina's turn. Chrisette has had her turn. We're turning over to Katrina Harris Earl.
Well, I was just talking to Chrisette's friend who is on her way to Dubai, one of our favorite destination places. And Homage Juliet, am I saying your name correctly, is watching us from Dubai. So hello to Dubai, 3 a.m.
Yes.
We are so grateful. You know, the tribe is growing, and we want to know you, because it's one of the places we plan to bring the tribe. We're going to have some high-end trips all over the world to places that we have been and loved to shop, and we're gonna spill the tea on the other side of the world. How about that? Okay, how about that right there? So it's not 85, but I'll just say that I did walk outside to check on my dog, and in the backyard I had no shoes on. Okay, I will just say that I stepped on that concrete.
Sabrina, they just love to rub it in for you and I.
I'll just say, yeah, it ain't Columbia hot. But anyways, this is going to be a hot show. A lot of people are tuning in. Somebody called and said, do you guys really record this live? Because I want to watch today's show. I said, believe it or not, these 4 girlfriends are really live. This is live. We are all the way live every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 7. Go to forceoffriendship.com and you can find out all the ways you can watch us empower women to empower women through leadership, friendship, and mentorship. So back to you, Gloria.
Yes. Krista, you sure you didn't want to say something else? Is there something else on that list that you were going to bring with all that passion?
You know what? The only other thing that I was going to talk about that happened, it was on the local news that really got me fired up, is I believe if I was born during the time of the Black Panthers, I would have been one. I probably really would have been one, for real. So they had a story on the news where this young lady, Caucasian young lady, goes to a Catholic school, and she got kicked out of school because she, at the front of her head, had like 4 French braids. And they told her she couldn't come to school, got kicked out because that was an extreme hairstyle. When I tell you, that just went through me. I said, all of our little girls, I grew up with French braids. My kids had French braids, and you called that an extreme style. So that means that no Black African Americans can come to that Catholic school with their hair French braided, because it's what is an extreme hairstyle? It's not like she had dreads. She had 4 French braids.
I'm telling you guys, that's why we got this show. This is why we have the show, so that we can always have a conversation, a real conversation about real issues. If it hits the news by 4 o'clock, it's on 6 o'clock. We got issues, because we got issues one way or the other. You guys, seriously, let me say this. I am getting so many inboxes from women in the Ukraine. I didn't even know I knew that many women in the Ukraine, and they are really reaching out and asking for some help. So we're going to continue to bring it up as one of the issues. We don't want it to definitely be all because we don't know it all, but we definitely want to speak to the situation that's going on there. And they're reaching out and they're reaching out. And I'm just going to tell you guys, if you get a comment from someone over there, do the kindest thing is to talk back to them. They need to know we care. They need to know that we're watching and we're praying for them. We need to know we have a voice for them. They need to know that we're leaning in and they're talking to us. So please, if you can any way, form of fashion, you can talk to them back. It does make a difference. You guys, we have a show today. I'm so excited about this show. First, before we bring on our guests, I got to tell you, I'm from Detroit. I'm from Detroit, but I live in the Baltimore area, and our guest lives in the Baltimore area. So I'm so excited. However, I want to say this to you guys. Welcome to We Got Issues, where our tribe is real important to us. And our tribe, Drea, brought us a guest, and I'm going to bring on Drea to help us introduce our special guest for today because it makes such a difference. Hi, Drea. How are you?
Hi.
Guys, Drea has been here with us from the beginning. She always hits us up on Facebook. She always has a comment. She always makes us feel spectacular. She's always encouraging to us on whatever topic we're hitting. So I'm so excited because we say this often. Tribe, force of friendship. If you guys know somebody who's fabulous that we need to introduce to the whole world one way or the other, bring them to us. And she hit me up, and here she is. So I'm very excited because I personally have seen Ernestine at parties. Like, she didn't know who I was, but I knew she was. I look at a girl, she'd come to a party dressed to the nine, stomach all out, midriff looking out, like, oh, who is that? So it's so excited to have her live and in person on the other end of our virtual world. Ernestine is an amazing role model. She's got credentials down one arm and up the other. But I asked Drea, who works with her in the bodybuilding world, to introduce us to Ernestine because I wanted Drea also to get some recognition for being a part. So Drea, tell us a little bit about you and tell us a little bit about Ernestine.
Okay, I'm gonna do it the way I do it. Ernestine Shepherd is first. She's my mom in the bodybuilding world. She's my trainer. She's my best friend. She's a beautiful person. She is the world's oldest living female competitive bodybuilder. She's been in the Guinness Book of World Records. She's in Ripley's Believe It or Not as Granny's six pack. She is in the Beyoncé video, My Power. She's been on the Steve Harvey show, Little Big Shots, the senior version. She's been on the Oprah Winfrey show through Skype. She's been on the Hoda Jenner show, AM Philadelphia, AM Baltimore, the Entertainment Tonight show, and the list goes on. She just got a Lifetime Achievement Award from Be There Baltimore last week. And talk about sexy. She was sexy. She had on a gorgeous black outfit. She opened up the outfit and had the sheer. You saw her muscles. You just saw it. She was looking gorgeous. And the headpiece. So now it's my pleasure, first of all, to say I love you, ladies. And second of all, to introduce the most special person in my life, Ernestine Shepherd. And I'm going to switch out with her. Come on,
yes. Thank you, Kevin, for the applause. Thank you so much for the applause. We are so excited to welcome you, Ernestine, to the show. We're so excited about the role model that you have been to so many of us. We are so excited that you're going to bring a history and a knowledge and a reality to everybody that's listening. And when I tell you the tribe is listening today because they wanted to hear from someone who is as magnificent as you and as determined as you and as gorgeous as you are.
Yes.
At 85 years, oh my goodness, you look amazing. The smile, the energy, so excited. So we go to break in about 2 minutes, but Ernestine, just tell them a little bit about your story, and we're going to come back and hear more of your story right after the break.
Okay. I love telling my stories. And all stories start once upon a time.
Yes.
Once upon a time, there were two sisters who loved each other dearly. If you saw one, you saw the other. Well, as the story goes, we were going to a church picnic, and we were told we could wear bathing suits. My sister's name was Velvet. Velvet said, "Gee, we haven't been in a bathing suit in years. We must go purchase one." Well, she and I went to the store, and we put these bathing suits on. All of a sudden, I looked, Velvet was just laughing, and I said, "You don't need to laugh because you're not looking so good yourself." Hello? Put this in, buddy. So we took the bathing suits off and left them, but we went to the picnic, and sitting there were ladies talking about going various places exercising. So Velvet said, "That is what we are going to do." I said, "Okay."
Okay, wait a minute. The music just came on, so we're going to go to a quick break. And when I tell you, this is hot like fire.
Yes.
We got issues at 9:10 a.m. the Superstation, and we're all leaning in, Ernestine, because we definitely want to know what happened at that picnic. So we're going to come right back after this break. We'll be right back to you. We got issues.
Okay.
Force of friendship. We are here. It's going to make it what we make it, what we make it. We are here. We got issues, and we're so excited with the famous, fabulous, and fit Ernestine Shepherd. We're so excited from the Baltimore area, but we say from the Baltimore area, but she is pleasing the world. Magazines, newspapers, TV shows. She's everywhere. So we're so excited. You were leaning in. Tell us about the picnic. Go ahead, Ernestine, with the story.
Well, we went to the picnic and we just sat around. All of the other people were enjoying themselves getting in the water, but we just didn't want to put those bathing suits on. So finally, one of the ladies had come over to us and said, "We go to Coppin College to exercise. Do you ladies want to go there?" We sat there and we thought for a while. So Velvet said, "Maybe we will." But we didn't go right away. It took us about 2 weeks to go to Coppin. And we walked in, and the instructor said, "How can I help you ladies?" So Velvet said, "We want to get our bodies in shape." And me with the big mouth, I said, "Well, I want to get my body in shape, but I don't want to lose my hips because I like my big hips. And I don't want
And you
big
described them
arms."
as big hips.
I said, "And I don't want big arms. I don't want to look like a man." He said, "That will never happen because you do not have that testosterone. So all we can do is to help to make you look feminine. And then when others see you, they will know that they too can achieve the same thing." So I was satisfied. We started off by doing aerobics. Boy, was that ever hard because I was lazy. I didn't want to do anything. Velvet was working out, and I was just sitting on the floor just looking. After a while, I saw a beautiful change in her, and I got so jealous, and I said, "I'm going home. I'm never coming back again." So Velvet said, "If you want to look nice, you had better start doing what I'm doing." So within that next week, I started doing what she was doing. Of course, my body never did look as good as hers, but I still looked nice. Next thing I knew, Velvet was making speeches, going here and there, and no one asked me to go. But anyway, anyway, I kept on going with her to make her speeches. So finally, my body changed. But like I said, I didn't have the big muscles. What I had was just the tone, so that if I would lift my arms, you could see the biceps. If I turned my arms the other way, you could see the triceps. You could see the abs. And Velvet said, "What we want to do is to help as many ladies as we can to live a healthy, happy, positive, confident lifestyle by number one, you have to pray. You can't do anything without prayer. Then you have to eat correctly. Then you have to do some walking and then lift weights. These are the things that will get you to where you want to be." So I followed her, did everything that she did. Next thing I knew, I was making speeches. I was on television. I was so happy. It was just a joy. So we knew that was our ministry. We didn't call it a mission. We called it our ministry. So we started teaching classes. So Velvet said to me, "If anything were to happen to me, do you think you could continue what we started?" So I said, "Vice versa. If anything were to happen to me, would you be able to continue?" She said, I'm really, really serious about this because I have been having such terrible, terrible headaches. I don't know what it is, but I want you to know that I want you to continue if anything should happen to me. So one day, Velvet called me and told me that it felt like water was running in her ears. And I said to her, what do you think that's all about? She said, well, maybe it could be because of me swimming and water getting in my ears. The next time she complained that she had such a terrible headache, and I said, what do you think that's all about? She said, well, maybe it's because we wear our hair like this and we wear it tight. Maybe that's what's doing it. So I said, well, maybe you should open it up and not wear it as tight. The next thing she stated that she was having trouble seeing out of one eye. I kept saying, my goodness, you're having so many problems. We had better go to a doctor. She says,
Right.
no, I'll be all right. But then the last time she called me, she said, when I got up, I didn't know who I was. My head was spinning. Water felt like it was running in my ears. All of the things that I told you, that's what's going on now. I was at work. I said, I'm leaving work and I'm going to take you to the hospital. However, my two parents got there ahead of me, and my baby sister did. And when I got to the house, they were getting ready to take her to the hospital. I got in the back seat of the car. She laid her head on my lap and she said, remember, if anything happens to me, you must continue our ministry. So to keep her quiet, I said yes. We ended up at a hospital called Provident. We got there. They kept us waiting so long. So I decided we must leave here and go someplace else. So we left that hospital and we
Wow.
went to St. Agnes. She laid her head on my lap and she kept saying, remember, you promised, you promised.
Wow.
We got to St. Agnes Hospital. I said, do you want to be in a wheelchair? She says, no, we'll walk in. We walked in. We told them all of the symptoms. They took her in the back immediately and examined her. They came out and they said, your sister has suffered a brain aneurysm. All of those various symptoms were things that occurred with a brain aneurysm. The running of the water in her ears, that was blood because the aneurysm had already burst. Her
Oh
headaches,
my.
her not being able to see out of one eye, all of that was because of the brain aneurysm.
Mm.
Velvet said that she knew that she would not be right, so she didn't want them to treat her or do anything. And they knew too that it was too late. Well, she died right there. When she died, I jumped up and I screamed and I said, now I don't have anyone. What am I going to do? My baby sister said, you have me. I said, yes, I have you. I love you very, very much, but you're not what I want at this moment. I ran around the hospital and I cried and I cried. So finally, well, as I said, she had died. She wanted to be cremated. She didn't want to be in a funeral box with people looking
Ernestine,
at her.
excuse
Yes.
me for 1 second. We're going to have to come back because the music is playing. We have to go to break. And when we come back from the break, we want to hear the rest of the story and find out what happened that led you to the place where you are so phenomenal right now. We'll be right back, and we got issues. This is the Force of Friendship. We're at 9:10 a.m., the Superstation, and the Superstation has a superstar right here, Ernestine Shepherd from Baltimore, Maryland area, and we're so excited. We'll see you. We'll be right back.
Okay.
And we are back. We are back with We Got Issues. We are back with We Are Issues. We got issues. We got issues. And you know what, Ernestine? What a storyteller. What a storyteller. You know, we're all about the sisters here for sure. But guess what? We got a request. We want to see the arms again. We got to catch that picture. Can you show us your arms, that movement? Yes. Oh, my goodness. That is... You guys, you got to see this. You got to see this. Ernestine, you got to talk to us a little bit. I understand that you started bodybuilding at 56, that you did your first show at 70 years old. And that
71.
71. Your first show at 71. And then you're still bodybuilding. Okay, so here's my first question. Were you nervous to stand up on that stage with those little bit of clothes on at 71 years old? Let's tell us, let us lean into the bodybuilding world, because a lot of us don't know.
Okay.
The bodybuilding world for women started, you guys, in the 1970s, when the first competition for all women started. And here we are over 50 years later, and Ernestine's at the top of the charts. Tell us a little bit about the bodybuilding world.
I love what you just said. Actually, I trained, and my trainer had me ready for my first show at age 71. Well, he took me out and helped me pick out a nice suit and the things that I was going to wear. Well, my husband's very religious. I did not tell him I was going to come out in a skimpy suit. Well, anyway, I was behind the curtain and I peeped out. My husband was sitting there with his hands folded, all religious. I said to my trainer, I can't go out there in that skimpy suit. What is he going to say? My trainer said, Ernie, he called me Ernie. He said, Ernie, it's now or never. Well, the music started playing. More. How do you like it? How do you like it? And I stood there again. Finally, I tipped out there, and then I started doing my action, got down on the floor and did my push-ups, got on my back and kicked my legs up in the air. And oh my, all of the applause I had gotten. And then I had forgotten all about my husband sitting there. And then when I peeked over at him, he was smiling. He was so happy. And I'm telling you, that suit was really, really skimpy. I tell you. But then after the show was over, it was time to give out the awards. Don't you know, I came in first place.
On your first show?
On my first show. Dre, hand me those two ladies.
Wow. Your first show, first
These
place.
are the two trophies. Can you see that?
Yes, absolutely.
These
absolutely,
are my
you guys.
trophies that I won. Okay.
Wow. That's
And
exciting.
I was so thrilled. And gosh, after that, I just didn't know what to do. I started training others. And then within a month's time, my trainer, Yanni Schamberger, got a call from the Guinness Book of World Records. They said that they thought I was the oldest female competitive bodybuilder in the world, but they would have to check it out. So they did. They found out that I was the oldest female competitive bodybuilder in the world. They sent for us to come to Rome. We went to Rome.
Italy.
Yes. We flew. I got to Rome March the 16th.
Yeah.
That was my sister's birthday.
Wow.
When I got off the plane, the license tag had 316 in the back. That was still part of her birthday. And then when we got into the hotel, the song that was playing was You Never Walk Alone. And that was Velvet's favorite song. And I stood there and the tears rushed in my eyes. And I said to Yanni, she is here with us. I
Absolutely.
didn't let him
Absolutely.
know that I had carried some of her ashes with me, and at a quiet moment, I walked as far as I could and scattered her ashes in Rome. And I said,
Wow.
"You are here." So while we were
That's
there,
beautiful. That was
I
That's
beautiful.
had
so
to do
beautiful.
poses. I
Yes.
had to do different little things to lift up to show that I could do it. And guess what?
What?
These humongous bodybuilders, oh God, they were handsome. They picked me up. I just laid back and enjoyed it. It was wonderful. So
Wait a
after
minute.
that,
Wait, I have to ask you this. I have to ask you this because I read that now your husband is one of the major reasons that your diet is so tight. So for you to lay back in those arms of all those big power men, and he goes from not wanting you to be in that skippy outfit to making sure that you eat perfectly. Is that true? He's one of the major reasons why you eat as well as you do?
yes, indeed, he took care of my meals for me. I didn't have to do anything. And he was very happy. He said, he called me Teeny. He said, Teeny, if you're happy, I'm happy.
Mm.
So you got to continue what you're doing for yourself and for your sister. Well, we left
Wow.
Rome. We arrived home. 2 weeks later, we got a call from Ripley's, believe it or not. And they wanted me to come to New York to do a little posing and to have pictures taken in their
Yeah.
magazine. We went
Wow.
there. They called me Granny Six Packs. And that's what I was called in Ripley's, believe it or not. Then
Wow.
after that, the calls kept coming in to do this, to do that. And do you know that, gosh, I enjoyed everything that I did. And I wanted to help, as I said, as many people as I could to live a healthy, positive, confident lifestyle. And
Okay, so I
that's,
have a question for you. I have
go
a question for
ahead.
you because when you say that, I'm thinking people are leaning in. And not only do you say you help them, but you have a show every Saturday on Zoom at noon where you really do walk women through how they can do that. So when you talk about what you're doing to help them, what is one of the major challenges you find that women have when they want to start working out and they're in their 50s or 60s? Like, what is the major issue?
First of all, they say, well, I'm in my 50s and I think I'm too old to do that. Maybe you were a different type of 50 than what I am because I have never done any type of exercising in the world. And then plus, gee, I have arthritis. Gee, I have
Mm,
trouble with my back, my legs, all of these various things. But I tell them that whichever you may have, exercising really helps. Because if you sit around and don't do anything, it's only going to get worse. But
right,
I ask them, first of all, before they start exercising with me, is to go visit their doctor and see what their doctor says. And if he gives them the okay sign, come on, I'm ready for you. And the way that I train the ladies and men, I don't train them the way that you would train a 19, 20-year old
right,
or 25-year old. I know what we need to do and I do it. And I
right.
tell them it will take a while for it to really work, but you've got to keep at it. And don't you know, I have women in my class as old as 80. And in my
Wow.
classes, I have young girls who are at least 21 years of age. I take
Wow.
all of them out walking because walking is very, very important. I tell them how to eat, and I tell them they must drink plenty of water, not overdo it, but drink plenty of water. And they get in the class, and don't you know, they really work. And I tell them, put on something nice. Don't come in just any kind of anything. Because if you
Don't
come
come
in
in here looking all
anything,
crazy. Okay, we're going to go to a
You-
break really quickly, and we're going to come
Okay.
back to food because I know you have some advice for us for food, and we're going to be right back, you guys. We're coming back to We Got
Okay.
Issues, 9:10 a.m., the Superstation. You're here with The Force of Friendship, so you got to check us out on theforceoffriendship.com and follow with us as we get ready to go to this break because we will be right back.
I'm
Oh, man, for real. We are excited. We are excited. You guys are chatting in the chat. I'm so excited. If you want to call in, we would love to hear from you at 313-778-7600 because we're here on We Got Issues and we're here empowered women, empowering women. And we're loving Ernestine and how her story has turned around to serve her sister. You guys, everything and every time I see her, her shirt says determined, dedicated, and disciplined. So I know that is a huge part of the brand that she brings through the life that she leads. You guys, seriously, you got to write this down. You got to write down www.officialernieshepherd.com. officialearningshepherd.com, and we'll put it in the link there. But we want you to know, there it is, that on Saturdays she does flexibility and strength training sessions. And I happen to know, and I know Walter, one of my trainers, is on today. He told me just the other day, Ernestine, he said the most important things you need is strength and flexibility. Strength and flexibility. So I'm so glad that that's what you're bringing to the world. I'm going to pass it to Katrina real quick out there on the West Coast. One of our girls, Katrina Harris Earl. Katrina, tell us a little bit about tomorrow, and then she's going to bring you a question.
Yes, Miss Ernestine, this is so amazing. Just a quick commercial for tomorrow. We're going to be talking all about cryptocurrency and how to, Miss Ernestine is teaching us how to live longer, and we're going to talk more about how to have the money for that great life. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. Miss Ernestine, yes. Can you please help with diet? What do you eat? What do you eat? Give us some tips so we know where to start. I know that food is so important. Walter is listening. Okay. Walter is listening. Can you help us out? Thank you so much. Your story is amazing.
Okay. Basically, I eat the same thing day in and day out.
Wow.
I awaken. I will have my oatmeal. Then I will have a cup of pineapples in its own juice, half a tablespoon of walnuts, and then I drink my liquid egg whites. That's my protein. Then what I will do, I will go to the gym. And then when I finish at the gym, I come home and I will eat, here we go, tuna fish. I'll have frozen vegetables and brown rice. Of course, I always have water. That's another meal. The next meal would be chicken. It's either roasted or baked. And then I will have brown rice and then maybe broccoli. The next meal, we're back to tuna fish again. And then I'll have my sweet potatoes and my vegetables. I eat between 4 and 5 times a day, and I drink my protein drink at least 4 times a day. The last one is before I go to bed at night. And that's basically it. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Goal poster.
And Nabiha asked, how do you drink your egg whites?
Well, I drink egg whites international. I pour it in a glass, and if you would listen to my phone when it rings, it has Sylvester Stallone's ring on it, because I used to see Sylvester Stallone drink the egg whites. So, drink the eggs, but I just drink mine plain. I don't bother about cracking an egg because it isn't healthy. It has to be really tested so that you won't get sick.
Right.
Ernestine, say your name. OMG, you are a joy. You are amazing. You're inspiration. We're so glad that you're on We Got Issues. So I have a question. What is the heaviest amount of weights that you can lift? And where did you start, and where are you right now with lifting weights?
I like that question. When I first started lifting weights, I was only using 5-pound weights. But you have different body parts that you work. All right, these are my biceps. Right now, I'm lifting 20 pounds. But a few years back, I was lifting 30. But with me being older now, I'm still keeping them So I lift 20 pounds. There are different things that you do with the weights. You hold your arm up, you open, and you squeeze. 1, 2, 3, and the biceps. All of that. Then, okay, if I'm going to bench press, the Olympic bar is 45 pounds itself without any weight on it.
Right.
Right.
Years back when I was training, I ended up training with a 45-pound weight on each side. So 45 and 45 is 90. And then the
Right.
bar itself was 45 pounds. So that would bring you 135 pounds that I could lie down and then lift up. But of course, I don't do that now. With my back, that's using the pull down machine. I pull down with 70 pounds. That's very,
Wow.
very good. 70 pounds, that is
Yes.
wonderful. Then with my triceps, I use 25-pound weights because I have my arms this way, and I take them back and take them back. It's 25 pounds. Then with my core muscles, I do about 200 crunches. Then I do the reverse crunches. I'll do maybe like 100 reverse crunches. That's where you lift your legs up and bring them down. Then you ladies.
Right. We're
You just
all
put us
like,
all to
what?
shame. You just embarrassed us.
Oh,
Embarrassed us all. Amazing.
Ernestine, I'm not
I had
even
my-
going to begin
I
to
had
tell
my
you
weights.
when I lifted weights, how much I was lifting. And I was like, whoo, this is heavy. I need to go down. I'm not even going to embarrass myself and tell you how much I was lifting. I mean to tell you, that is amazing.
But when you start off light, and then you gradually go up. And then I always do 4 sets of if I do my biceps, I do 4 sets. The first one I may use, I'll say 10 pounds. That's 1 set of 10.
Yes.
The next one I'll go 15 pounds, 1 set of 10s. Then I'll go up to 20. Then I'll go up to 25.
You gotta stop.
This is what you do.
You gotta stop because you're losing all our listeners. You're losing all our listeners because they're like, what in the world? What in the world? What in the world? You are such an inspiration. You are such a kind heart. They have loved you, your spirit, what you do, and how you do it in the world. We're so glad that you're a part of We Got Issues. We're so glad that you live in the Baltimore area, and we're so glad you shared yourself with the world. You guys, you've been listening to We Got Issues. We had our guest, Ernestine Shepherd. You got to join her on Saturdays at noon because she will inspire you to a higher level. We're so glad that we'll be here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9:10 a.m. the Superstation, and you're here with the Force of Friendship. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.